3/4. And finally, the soybean market is in the red, down 4 1/4, 10.54 1/4. Oliver Sloup's with Blue Line Futures. I guess the big question for Oliver, have you recovered from the tour yet?
It's a long process. The older I get, the harder I get. I am not cut out for life on the road, that's for sure.
Well, and we get the final numbers. They were lower than USDA's crop projections earlier in the month, but still record high, right?
Yeah, last week you probably heard me sound like a broken record saying that it was largely underwhelming through the majority of our stops outside of a few fields that we checked that were just amazing. It was largely underwhelming, which sounds weird considering we're still, knocking on the door of a potential record crop. And Pro Farmer came out with a 182.7, so that's still really good corn out there. But I think the USDA in August report really just kind of leapfrog way ahead of where they should have. The old saying, big crops get bigger, but they set the bar so high that I think it's going to be really tough to meet those expectations, especially, when you're looking at kind of finishing this crop, not just for corn, but soybeans in areas that have been really, really dry recently in Indiana and Illinois. And if you look at the 6 to 10 day forecast, there's not a lot of chances for rain there in some of those areas that could really use it. So you've seen the corn and soybean market, stage a nice relief rally from those lows back from the WASDE report. Hopefully we can keep that momentum going. And then as you'd mentioned, the wheat market, which has been kind of a snoozer relative to corn and beans recently, but it's knocking on the door of the 20-day moving average at 5.11 1/4. If we can get out above there, potentially wheat starts to participate a little bit more in this friendly trade as well.
All right. Hey, Oliver, let's take a quick break. We'll come back in a moment and pick up the conversation with what could be fireworks this week. Market Day report continues in a moment. Moving higher, maybe in part due to a somewhat bullish cold storage report. I don't know. Help me out here. Oliver Sloup's with Blue Line Futures. Is that part of what's giving hogs a little boost higher?
I think a little boost in hogs on the back of that report. Largely, I think it's just a shift in the seasonal landscape. We're kind of transitioning from a bearish seasonal time of year to a more friendly time of year, and now we're knocking above some big technical levels with the 50-day moving average acting as resistance near 91.70. If we can get out above there, potentially we can see some of that seasonal strength continue to play out through this week's trade and into next. Obviously, the cattle market, that's what a lot of people are really focused in on here today with the volatility that we've seen. We had the cattle on feed report on Friday, cold storage on Friday, largely kind of underwhelming. But the screwworm headlines over the weekend is really what started to shake the trees and spike that volatility on the open. In fact, you talked about cattle trading lower. October feeders actually touched limit down 925 right on the open. We bounced off of that, but I suspect this volatility is going to be alive and well. And that kind of open is kind of what we've been worried about with the fund positioning as well. If everybody's already long, if you get a headline to drop, there's not going to be anyone there to buy it when they're looking to exit. Yeah,
great points there. And again, I kind of go back to the fact that this happened August the 4th. That was 21 days ago. We're just now kind of learning about it. So kind of interested talking about that human screwworm. All right, Oliver Sloup's with Blue Line Futures, and we'll see you again soon.